Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again. And it's the eve of the new patch. It's Monday and the patch notes are gonna come out tomorrow on Tuesday. So I just wanted to leave off this patch, which none of us, I guess I wouldn't say none of us, most of us didn't enjoy. I just wanted to end it with something simple. And this most simple deck that I can find out there is going to be a Spider Aggro. And I think it's good time to bring this deck back up because I don't expect this deck to change a lot with the new patch. Obviously, none of the cards that are here are listed in the patch preview that we saw. We did see a nerf to Decimate a couple patches ago that makes Decimate worse, but I still think that you need it in this deck to kind of make it work. And Gwen is actually getting a slight adjustment slash buff, right? So this deck might also be better if you're able to level up Gwen in certain situations. But anyways, another reason why I like showcasing Spider Aggro every few months or so is because it's also one of the cheapest decks that you can build as a new player. So if you're a new player that just joined Legends of Runeterra, this is one of the decks that I usually recommend people start with. Kind of teaches you the basics of the game and lets you climb quickly and get a lot of resources that you can actually build the meta decks out there later on. But let's go through the list. Now, this version of Spider Aggro is mixing the Gwen package with the Elise Aggro package. So our one-drops are going to be the Hose, the Rearguard, and the Precious Spec. The Hose, again, because once it dies, it gives the Halo buff, which helps out with Gwen and your other fearsome units, allowing you to push more damage. Rearguard, just one of the best one-drops for Naxos in terms of damage you can put. And one Precious Spec because of the fearsome that can synergize with the Halo or also synergize with Elise. Now, you will notice that we're not playing the Saboteur because, oh, actually, I also forgot about the Onlooker as our last one-drop. Onlooker, obviously, just fearsome as well. You can play it and just push 4 damage with the fearsome. We're not playing the Saboteur because I do feel like I kind of like the Host a little bit better. Otherwise, if you wanted to play the Saboteur for more aggro, then you just replace the triple Host with triple Saboteur and you still get to push damage that way. You do want to be on 12 one-drops because you want to just aggro down the opponent and just smack them in the face as soon as possible. And all these one-drops let you do exactly just that. So again, you can replace the Host with the Saboteur, but this is the decision that I made with this deck list to go with the Host instead. Then we move on to our 2-drops, and just similar to the 1-drops, we're also playing a bunch of 2-drops, just so that we have that curve going right away. And that's going to be the Arachnoid Horror. Again, it's a spider, so it's sending us with Release and the Skitter. Then we play Triple Elise. That's the whole purpose of this deck, and this can push a lot of damage because of fearsome and creating other units. Double House Spiders to potentially be able to level up Elise in certain situations, and again, also synergizes, gets buffed by the Skitter. And then Triple Butler. Just kind of like we talked about the Host, the Butler gives us that Halo buff in the graveyard. Not only that, but the Butler itself is also a fearsome unit, so it can push damage through if you're able to get rid of fearsome blockers because of Skitter. So that goes for our 2-drops. Then we go on our 3-drops, and once you get to the 3-drops lower, like 3 costs and cards, 3 costs and more in this deck are more like support or like additional resources. So like the Doombeast, it's a unit, but really it's more there because of the drain. So pushing 2 damage point to the face. The Skitter is like additional support, lets you buff all your spiders and get rid of fearsome blockers. Triple Fervor allows you to just burn the opponent's Nexus. Double Stacking Shadows for some draw. Triple Gwen for that extra heal and the damage you can push since she has quick attack. She also becomes a really good blocker because she has 4 health. And then to finish up the game, we have the Triple Decimate to just burn the opponent Nexus once they get to that low health value. So this is the deck list that I would recommend if you wanted to try Spider and if you're looking for a cheap deck to try out. But anyways, enough about that. Pretty straight deck, pretty straightforward deck. Hope to see you at the end of the video for some mulligan tips. And if you do like the video, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post our videos every single day. I'll see you in a little bit. In this matchup, we're going against Kayn Vayne. This is going to be pretty bad. Because they're going to obviously get the healing from Kayn. So we have to try to win the game before Kayn actually gets online. Now this hand could potentially let me do that because we're able to go really wide. I think we always start Rearguard, even if the opponent has an early blocker like the Forsaken Bakai. Because if they don't have the Forsaken Bakai, we're pushing 3, right? Compared to just pushing 2. There we go. Then we can go double Rearguard again and just push 9 if the opponent has no blockers for some reason. The Host can continue waiting here for a while. We can summon him as a blocker for later. Cool, cool, cool. You have to have something here. If you don't, you're gonna be taking a lot of damage. There we go, Keeper. Now, I do like the idea of just attacking, open attacking, because opponent probably wants to get this lifesteal, right? So opponent's trying to get this lifesteal, and I don't want them to have access to the equipment. So I'm gonna force them into a position where they have to block before they can actually put the equipment on it. Because this lifesteal is also annoying. So here, I'm just gonna open attack. Because we're pushing 9. And if the opponent just decides to put an like if the opponent decides not to block, they go down to 8.
You will see.
There we go. The lifesteal is just a little bit too annoying. Oh well, they have a second one. They have a second one, so that's a little bit annoying. And by a little, I mean like a lot. Huh. But they don't seem to have an early equipment that they could put on it. So maybe that's gonna be okay. Oh, never mind. They have the combat cook. So they have the combat cook. Which has impact. This gets lifesteal. We can play Gwen. That way this thing cannot attack because he gets blocked by the Gwen. Then next time we do the Skitter. I think I'm down to do this. That's fine. Like, I don't care about losing Gwen here. I mean, I do, but I don't. I do, but I don't. Opponent goes back up to 15. That's why the lifesteal was such a big deal. That was like an extra 4 health that the opponent shouldn't have had. You can play Elise into Skitter. And be able to just... Okay, cool. So we go like this. Opponent only has 1 blocker. Opponent only has 1 blocker. They probably want to block the Elise. Momentous choice. Okay, well that makes it easy for me because now I was debating which unit to buff up with the Hallow. If we go like this, I think it's a mistake. Because opponent can always just block it and just go back up to health. Because he's just gonna heal back up, right? So what if we just go like this? What if we just go like this, and if the opponent doesn't block this when they take the more damage? Because now if he blocks here, he takes the most damage this way, and he's also losing the combat cook. The problem is the Kayn. Now the Kayn is going to be leveling up pretty quickly. Silence as suppress is not something that I was expecting. Yeah, so the Kayn is going to level up this turn. However, opponent is not able to actually heal with the Kayn until the following turn. But then once they do, they're going to be healing 2. They can kill the Elise here. They can kill the Elise here, and now they have a second Kayn. So now they have a second Kayn, which allows them to potentially just open for the attack. So what if we just go wide? What if we just go wide? The problem is, again, the Kayn. The Kayn still comes down and heals in 2 next turn. And opponent has blockers for the rest of my units. So they go down to 7.
The rage. Let it loose.
Probably should I just play Host into Onlooker anyways, right? Because I was always gonna do this. I was always gonna do this. Because what I have to do is just play. I cannot let the opponent get the attack with the second Kayn that they have in their hand, right? So this lets them heal 2. And then we don't have enough value with the rest of our units. The opponent could also have single combat or concerted to heal even more. Furious Wilder, single combat. Okay, that's a waste of mana. I mean, that's not gonna do anything. I don't think we win this game ever. So we can go 3 and like spread it out. Like we can go like this. Oh, sorry. Like we can spread it out like this. 3, 2, 2, 3, 3. Opponent blocks here. They heal 2. They block here. and this is still gonna be 7. Opponent's gonna have to have a strike. So we are still dealing 7. Opponent's gonna have to have the strike. It might be a sack lethal. We need to top deck something. We need to top deck a Fervor.
How easily flesh eats.
This is more damage if you take it that way. Oh, come on. Tell me you don't have a strike. Furious Wilder. Oh, they don't have it. Okay. Alright, we got lucky there. I feel like this deck is suffering a little bit from always being just a little bit too short. Like, I feel like I would have felt like I'm more confident there if I had, like, a Fervor, right? So, GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Vayne Kai'Sa. Now, Andrew used to be pretty good against Kai'Sa. I wonder if that's still the case against this specific matchup. I kind of want to go all in. I kind of like going all in here. I like going double fearsome instead of the rear guard, although technically the rear guard is a little bit more damage. I guess it's actually better to go rear guard butler, right? Because even if the opponent has the Broadwind is not a good blocker into the rear guard.
It won't get past me.
And that way we push more damage. We push 6. So what the opponent could have here is Broadwind. They could also have the 2-jaw with Spell Shield. The Elder, I think is what it's called. Has it really been that long since we played against Kai'Sa? So they can block here, but all that does is give us access to the Hallow buff from now on. If they don't block, they take 6, which is worse than actually letting the Hallow buff go in the graveyard. So I think you always block, yes. I think it always makes sense to block. Absolutely no way you don't block there. Now, there's a consideration that you block the rear guard instead, although I don't think that's actually true either. Sure. They could have, I guess, the Valor. They could have the Valor, so maybe this is actually a mistake. Yeah, it doesn't play the Valor. Huh. I don't think we need to do the Skitter. I think we go Elise into Onlooker and just go wide and also have access to Fervor. Yeah, I don't think we need to do. I don't think we need to do the Skitter right here, because the only they can only block here, right? They block here. They block Elise. They're still taking 6, 7. They go down to 10. So they still take the 7. Because they block the rear guard, they block the Elise. Blocking the Onlooker doesn't make sense. Fish fight. But now you don't have any fearsome blockers. Now if we go like this, oh actually it's probably better not to do that, right? I didn't realize that he was gonna cancel it. So now you don't have any fearsome blockers. Oops, we messed up. I forgot about the Hallow buff. So we lost 1 point of damage because I messed up. That's my mistake. That's my mistake. I was even talking about the buff earlier, right? So we lost 1 point of damage, which might matter. And we just told the opponent that we have a Fervor as well, because the opponent saw us put that on the stack. So 2 little oopsies here. Now the opponent can only really kill the Precious Pet, doesn't get to kill the Elise. I guess they could go for the combat reel and then try to kill the Elise. They should probably kill the Elise here though. Yeah, there you go. We go here. It's probably the House Spiders, right? With us having double Skitter. Just go super wide. Like, opponent has to kill this now. I don't even care, like...
Those who kill it,
oh, yeah, I mean... Sure? So... I'm actually debating here if I should just go ahead and play the House Spider down and get the little Spiderling. We could also go like this. Which I don't dislike. Maybe that's a mistake though. But I don't dislike forcing the opponent to have to use this. Second spider. Skitter is not gonna matter because the combat reel is gonna stop it. So I think it has to be half spider into Skitter. Because the opponent's probably gonna tumble, putting the combat reel in their unit. We can play the Skitter and now have access to second Elise. Okay, so now they have to. Now they have to actually tumble. Because they need to give this they need to make this a fearsome blocker. So they need to make this a fearsome blocker, so they have to tumble. There you go. Like we talked about. If we go like this, opponent doesn't really have any group blockers. They will have to sacrifice the Vayne if they want to block with the Vayne. Because what we can do is that we can play the hollow buff here. I guess opponent could block the one spiderling. But this way Vayne is not a good blocker. And if the opponent does decide to block the one spider, then they're still taking 12. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now, Kai'Sa is a problem next turn. But now the Vayne is gone. Kai'Sa is going to have Overwhelm. Opponent's down to 3. Now I wish I had that Fervor, because he ended up being the same thing. Because the opponent just ended up transferring the equipment. I guess we wouldn't have had Elise. We wouldn't have had the Elise. Which is a big deal in most cases. But us having... We have to open attack. We won't be able to play the Skitter because opponent could have a Kai'Sa into Cataclysm to clear our board. Because remember, the Kai'Sa level up is a problem. Now, opponent has done Overwhelm. Overwhelm, Regen, Spell Shield, Challenger. Okay, well, if I had any questions about whether they evolved or not, they just did. Gonna pass. So I wanted to play Kai'Sa.
Let's get to blasting.
No, that's not a Kai'Sa. That is not a Kai'Sa. Let's go like this. I guess we should have saved this, right? Because opponent just showed us that they don't have Kai'Sa. I want to force it to have to commit something here to kill Elise. Otherwise, the Elise will level up. So they need to have the Cataclysm. Kind of sucks now because they drew the Scout. So if they had the Cataclysm, they could have actually just killed us. But then they're not actually getting the Cataclysm in their hands, so I guess we're fine. Now we can go all the way up to 3. So 1, 2. Oh, we only have 2 of them that can hit. Okay, so we challenge the rest because we do have 2 hollow buffs. We only need 1 of them to get through, and it looks like that will have been enough. If the opponent has single combat or Cataclysm, they will have done a last turn to stop the Elise from leveling up. So GG's. This matchup went against Leona Diana, and this matchup is absolutely horrible for us because their units will just get way too big. Now maybe we can sneakily try to level up Elise and win that way? Maybe? Like a sneaky Elise level up could get us there? Huh. If the opponent plays the Dustbringer, I think I always play the Hose. So I think I always play the Hose. And I think we still play... I still like the Elise here. I still like the Elise here. It at least forces the opponent to have to commit a fearsome blocker. Otherwise, we just push this damage through. And we have to attack with everything.
Their scent travels on the night.
Yeah, see? So opponent was forced to commit this fearsome blocker. Question here is, do we still attack with the Elise? Knowing that we potentially have her level up. I think so. I think we still attack with everything. I think I'm good taking get rid of that. I mean, we're only pushing 1 damage, right? But now we have a Hallow buff in the graveyard. And we get rid of both their units. I think it is correct. Opponent also had to... Also, by the way, opponent didn't have to use the Dust Petal. They could have just played it as a Daybreak card. And it would have gone to 3-3. And completely stole our attack out. So opponent also kind of ended up messing up a little bit there. Second Daybreak is kind of annoying. I don't think we need to do anything there. I think we go like this, because this card is always gonna just block us out, right? So this card is always gonna block us. So I think we just want to go wide. Problem is that the opponent's at 19. Yeah, like opponent should have done that last turn. I don't know why they didn't do it and waited for this turn to do it. Unspeakable Horror on one of these? Yeah, opponent has some Unspeakable Horror, and they just realized that if they did it beforehand, they would have been in a little bit of trouble. I think I like putting it here and going like this. That way the opponent can block this one here, but he wouldn't be able to block it as a 2-2. They go Unspeakable Horror here. We only push 5. They get to heal 1. So opponent's at 15. We kind of out of resources unless we draw. We're completely out of resources unless we draw the 3-mana spell. Yeah, that's Unspeakable Horror, unfortunately. This is why I said that this matchup is bad for us in the beginning. The Unspeakable Horror becomes a really big deal. Now, cool, opponent kept that blocker alive, which is still a fearsome blocker, but I don't know if it really matters. Opponent's at 13. We could put him down to 10. Skitter could be really good later on, especially because we have a full spider board. The problem is Leona. Leona stuns our units. So Leona will stun our unit. We can just play the House Spider out right now. I think the Skitter is just so good. Wait, don't we just pass here? Why would I not pass here? Why would I not pass here? It's one less unit that I have to worry about later. And now when you play Leona, Leona's going to come down as just a 3. We're going to go here first, by the way. I want to bait out something else. I want to bait out another card. Like, I want to bait out a fearsome, like another Twilight. Oh, that's not a Twilight. Well, I guess we just go here then. We should have gotten rid of the horror. We should have gotten rid of the horror, by the way, instead of the little spiderling, because now we're missing 2 damage for no reason. Needs to have another Pale. I guess it could also have a Twilight. Oh, we lost 2 damage for no reason. That 2 damage is gonna matter. I played too fast. I played too fast. Played way too fast. We also need to be careful of how we order this. So they do have 2 fearsome blockers no matter what they do, and they can always block this one as well. So they have blockers for everything, but at the very least we force them to lose that unit. They also keep their Diana alive or their Sun Guardian alive. We're not pushing any damage here. That 2 damage actually does matter.
Ignorant brawl.
Look, opponent would have been at 8. Opponent would have been at 8, which could have been pretty decent. Oh, that feels so bad. That's so bad. That feels so bad. Ah, okay, at least we keep the unit, I guess. That's better than nothing. Opponent tapped out of Leona, so I think I'm fine doing this. Doombeast. Okay, so opponent goes up to 2. Let them challenge. We're gonna Fervor. We have to Fervor, right? We have to always Fervor. Second Unspeakable Horror could be a punish, which means that we have to go like this. The second Unspeakable Horror is too much of a punish for me to go with the House Spider here. Now, doesn't look like they have Leona, so that's kind of helping us out. I don't know if it's gonna be enough, because I mean, I don't think Gwen is gonna be enough. We need the ooh, they drawing? They digging? Wait, why Pale there? What a nice draw. Well, I was wondering why Pale there is, because if you're gonna just draw like if you're gonna draw like nutty like that, then I guess Makes sense to pale, right?
What a joy!
No reason to attack with everything because the opponent has blockers for both. So I think we just go like this. Yeah, why pale when you can just have nutty draws? When it goes on to 12. Gwen stays on the field for future turns. We have a fearsome attacker for future turns. Opponent plays Leona, they win the game. This is a Leona waiting game. The moment that the opponent plays Leona, they win the game. Because Leona can kill my Gwen, because she's gonna come down with 4 attack, and she's gonna have barrier, and challenger, and all the other shenanigans that you can think of. Now the opponent got a 3 card here, and they literally get probably the best card they could have gotten. That's actually probably one of the best draws. And there's the Leona. Okay, so they get the Leona, and I think that's where we scoop. Like I said, it was a Leona waiting game, and we tried. I think we had a couple misfits in the game, but I don't think that we're going to make a big difference in it. That 2 damage ended up not mattering whatsoever. So, geez. In this match, we're going to go into the mirror. I wonder how this mirror is going to go exactly. Having the Doombeast and having the Gwen are both very big deals. I think I like this whole hand. It's going to be a little bit of slow hand, but I think I like playing for the Halloween condition instead of the Fearsome. I think it probably ends up being better. And I like playing just this Hallow out right now instead of the rear guards for the same reason. Oh, perfect. He also gives us a great blocker into his own rear guard. They play the Butler to block like an Elise. And then we play our rear guard afterwards, which is going to start pushing a lot more damage once this guy dies to the rear guard that the opponent has. So, I think so far we're okay. Again, having the Gwen is a huge deal. Decimate, not as good. Decimate, not as good. I'm willing to block everything. That's a little bit annoying. That's a little bit annoying. Does it matter? I guess it doesn't matter. I guess I'd rather take less damage. Because opponents should always be blocking this rear guard next turn. And they can block it with their onlooker. Right? Now they just block it with the pressure spec. So I think it's worth it to get rid of that unit while we had the chance. I like keeping the Skitterer for later. Potentially stall out their attack. Oh, they're playing Hookmaster in their version. I don't know how I feel about that. Again, this is just here to commit a block. If the opponent doesn't block this, I think that's crazy. I think that's crazy. There's no way that you cannot block that, in my opinion. Wow. I guess because you have Gwen, that's why you decided, hey, let me block that. But hey, guess what? We have our own Gwen too. And now we're going to have the Fearsomes attacking you next turn. So... if we just block here, we take more damage. But then we get rid of both Fearsome blockers next turn. This can still... I guess opponent's gonna have a blocker with Gwen if we go this way. Opponent's gonna have a blocker with Gwen if we go this way. Because now the Gwen stays at 4 HP and becomes a really good blocker for next turn. And now she's also gonna have Overwhelm, which is gonna be a little bit annoying. We go Precious Pet. We go Skitterer. That's a ballsy move. That's a ballsy move before the turn starts, because now we still have access to the Hallow buffs, right? So the Hallow buff still goes through. So we're still pushing 9. I guess you do get your healing through. You get your healing through, so you go up to 8, but we have exactly enough for 8.
I have my orders.
That's a ballsy move. I respect it. I actually respect it. So we go like this. Opponent has to attack right away, because otherwise they lose to the Doombeast. We block. We take 5, 7. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. We still block everything else. 5, 7. We get on to 10. So we lose to a Fervor. So we're losing to a Fervor now. So unfortunately, we lose to the Fervor. They needed to have the second Doom Beast. I guess that's not true because they could have just played. They could have just attacked with the Gwen as well, right? That overwhelm was huge. Having that Fervor. I mean, they did commit one Fervor already. So we lose to Decimate. We lose to Fervor. Attacking, open attacking makes no sense. So we have to just develop. We have to just develop. And if the opponent has any burn, they have the burn. They already used 2 double Doom Beasts, right? They already used double Doom Beasts, so I'm not too scared of it just yet. We also have multiple Fearsome. This lets me survive against a Doom Beast or anything else. When it's down to 2, we have triple Fearsomes, and opponent doesn't have any Fearsome blockers, and we win the game. Alright. They didn't get the burn that they needed. We ended up getting just the units that we need. We know that the opponent has a House Spider or a Rear Guard, because obviously the Stalking Shadows, so... Oh man, that was close, that was close. That Fervor on the Gwen after we block, I did not expect it. So maybe it was a misplay on my part to actually block with Gwen. So GG's. In this match, we're gonna go against Annie Jhin, which I think we're slightly in favor against. Because they have access to the stuns, right? Now we do have Gwen. The Gwen might change things, because the Gwen does let us heal a lot. So she does change things a little bit.
Come on, Tibbers. It's playtime.
So it's always Rear Guard, because we're never... Obviously, we cannot block that Annie, right? So it's Rear Guard, and then next time we do Host Onlooker. And go from there. The Annie level up could also be really annoying if we're not careful. The Sunhawk is probably the worst situation here. I kind of like the Elise better now. Ooh. No, I like the Host Onlooker. I like the Host Onlooker and just pushing a lot of damage now. Yeah, the Sunhawk is what I was talking about. That was gonna be really annoying. Because now we're only pushing 4 instead of pushing as much damage as I would have liked. But that also means that at least we're actually being a mistake. We can always block with the Host and the Sunhawk if we need to. And then have the Spiderlings. That's not bad. My concern now is going to be... Oh, actually, they cannot attack with Annie anymore. The Elise means that the opponent cannot attack with Annie. Ooh, that's good. That's really, really good for us. That's really, really good for us. We play Gwen, attack with the whole board, have Calling Sensation. A second stun is a problem, like a stagehand. Otherwise, we could also just open and save Gwen for later. And have this Calling Sensation. Might actually be better to use open. Like, what if we go here? Opponent cannot attack with anything now. Because even the... Oh no. Oh no. There's no way. There's no way that's ever correct. We take 0 damage, and now we have a Host in the board, and you lose your Annie that was about to level up. Danger Creep. I'm disappointed. That was not correct. So, do we still open? Or do we just play the Gwen now? I think we still open. I think we still open. Especially now that we're also getting a Spiderling guarantee, and we're still pushing 7. I don't want to get stunned by the stagehand. And now we can play Gwen, so that when Gwen comes down later, she can just finish the game. Now, we only have 2 blockers, and opponent could still have the stagehand. So we only have 2 blockers, and opponent could still have the stagehand. I would like to not use... Okay, perfect. Perfect. This is... I wanted to get something that would allow me to play the Doom Beast. So now we can go here. This is game. By the way, this is already game. We're at 15. Opponent's down to just 1 card. And we have blockers for everything. Like, are you serious? Okay, so we just get to play Elise again. We play Doombeast. Actually, we're not even gonna play Elise. We're gonna play the Doombeast. That will be push 2, and then we have lethal in the open because it's gonna be 6. So opponent's down to 6. We have multiple cards that can deal that 6 damage, and that should be game. We're even gonna pull this one first. No matter which way the opponent blocks, it's lethal, and that third word is not enough. Okay, I thought we were gonna be slightly in favor, but I did forget that we do play Doombeast, and we also play Gwen, obviously, so that does help against that deck. And House Spider also gives us a lot of blockers, but we didn't even need it that game, so GG's. In this match, we're going against Vayne Rumble. It's actually kind of interesting how, like, in the beginning of the season, I was seeing a lot of Vayne Rumbles and then nothing in the middle, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing a lot of Vayne Rumbles again. I wonder what's causing the spike on Vayne Rumbles. I like this host into Butler. I kind of want to see if I get something better. But having the host on the grave is pretty good. Oh, that's not good. That is not good.
It's my time.
Really? You better have a fearsome blocker. You better have a fearsome blocker, otherwise you just let me do a decimate for 2 mana. They have to have a fearsome blocker, right? This doesn't make sense otherwise. Oh. They're forced to pick an equipment that's a fearsome. They have a chance of not hitting any of them. Okay, they do hit it. They do hit it, unfortunately. We still go for it because it's gonna just set up the rest. Here we have Precious Pet and we also have Gwen. So we're able to push out a lot of damage, and the Precious Pet now doesn't get blocked by the Vayne.
Join the hunters.
Cool.
I'll show the hunters.
He should do the Pen of Pain, right? They should do the Pen of Pain here. Okay.
If only she
That's gonna be 4 plus 5. That's 9 plus 2, 11. If the opponent commits for the Rumble here, I guess they could have the Legionary Charge. That's what I thought.
nothing to fear.
That's what I thought. So they're just gonna go ahead and kill this one. They still take 7. Okay, they have single combat. All right. So they take only 2. But they lose another unit. We have more stuff here in the graveyard. Yada yada yada. More Hollow buff. The problem is Rumble here. Rumble is a little bit of a problem here. Okay, not anymore. I don't think I care about Rumble right now. Then, if the only thing that the opponent is doing is just Rumble, I think I'm fine with this.
Fail me now.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm fine with that. Then we're gonna go like this. We're gonna go play the Decimate now, because I really don't want to play any of my units.
Serve the greatest.
The downside here is the opponent can actually put a Pen of Pain on it. The problem is that the Pen of Pain doesn't really matter for us. We're just gonna go full Skittler.
Adjustment.
We're gonna go full Skittler. The Pen of Pain does mean though that this guy could get some value. Ooh. Now this is more tempting now. Problem is that this gets blocked, so I think it has to be the Fearsome. I think it has to be the Fearsome twice, so that these 2 units can potentially kill the Rumble. Perfect. And the opponent even put the Tough on the 1 unit. So now these 2 units can kill Rumble, and this one can push damage through with the 3 Hollow buffs. Opponent could have the Cataclysm now since we tapped out of Fervor. But they don't have a way to block this. They could also have... Cataclysm doesn't level up the Rumble though.
Monsters still lurk.
Yeah, so we go like this. That way any of these pushes through damage. Okay, so opponent goes down to 6. We're 1 away. We're 1 away from being able to actually finish him off. Now we could delay... We could delay the level up on the Rumble by doing the Fervor. Ooh. Yeah, so we can delay this unless the opponent has Overworld. Ah, come on. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's so unfortunate. So that's gonna be 6 plus 2 next afterwards, which is gonna be 8. It's not enough. Not enough. Wow. You gotta be kidding me. They had to have it exactly. They had to add exactly the overwhelm. That's so unfortunate. 1 mana off. 1 mana off. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, because it's only 5. This is 4. We don't have enough. So GG's. Second Fervor would have been better. Second Doombeast doesn't do it. So in this match, we're going against Rumble Sion. And they are in Bandle City and Naxos, so this could be a game where we actually develop Elise. I'm gonna keep the whole hand for potential. So I'm guessing they're playing the parts of Palooza, right? That's what it would make sense to me, based on what they're playing. Come on, opponent. Squire. Okay, we still get to push 2. So they just want discard fodder for the Rumble to do its thing. We could play Elise and then House Spider. I just gotta see if the opponent actually commits the tiny spear on the Squire. If they don't, then that's okay. If they commit the tiny spear, then we probably shouldn't attack. We can always go for the Skittler as well. Okay, so I think we do attack. We do open. I think I like the open here. So I like the open here because it gives me the Spiderling. We push 4 damage. We push 4 damage and we can still do the House Spider. And we can even go for the Calling Sensation now as well. That's the scrappy parts Palooza that we talked about. I guess the only concern with the Calling Sensation is that I want to have another Elise as a backup just in case. So I would like to actually have a second Elise as a backup in case that the first one dies. Like if the opponent get a challenger here. So I'm actually going to just play Rearguard instead. It's also more damage than the Spiderlings. Because we're gonna have a full ball, right? So having the Spiderlings doesn't really matter. This also makes it aggro for them because if they try to play Rumble here, then the Elise can actually kill it next turn.
As silk.
Which is again very aggro for them. And we can always play the second Elise, right? If our Elise dies. Oh, that's it?
Sewing mends the soul.
So don't we just take this damage and then just pull it next turn? Yeah, why don't we just take this damage and then just pull next turn? He might even get unlucky. Okay, he didn't get unlucky. We go like this. We go here. We pull here, pull here. Actually, let's play around Pokestick by pulling this way. So this plays around the Pokestick, and that way we present the Lito. So the only removal that I can think of, I guess I could also have the Willing Death, and they don't. Okay, yeah, so Pokestick would have been the only thing here, or Willing Death. So it was correct for us to pull with the ones that have one hand. So, GG's. Welcome back, everybody. So we had a lot of games showcased today because obviously the games with this deck are very, very quick. You saw a couple losses, saw a few wins, and you can kind of see where we struggle a little bit. The Decimate nerf really hurts a lot. There's a lot of times where you're literally just 1 mana off from being able to do like Decimate plus Doombeast or Fervor, as you saw in one of our losses today, where if Decimate was still 5 mana, we probably had enough for Dalito, but you know, that's why this card got nerfed, because Riot wanted to kind of power down aggro a little bit, so makes sense. Whatever, it happens. But anyways, I mean, aside from that, pretty straightforward deck. Just go as aggressive as you can, and then try to get your burn later in the game. So that kind of gets us on to our mulligan tips. In our mulligan tips, really, you're looking for 1-drops. You're looking for 1-drops to start the game. So I kind of hard mulligan for the 1-drops and for Elise. Those are really the cards that I want. 1-drops and Elise, and then just push damage there, and then try to draw into your other support cards. Anything 3 costs or more, you can probably kick out of your starting hand and just hope to draw them later on in the game. So pretty straightforward as well in terms of mulligan tips. Anyways, hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, make sure to like it below and subscribe to us. We post a lot of videos every single day. You can also find us on Twitch at Twitch Sirturmund, where we stream 2-3 times a week. And you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again tomorrow for the patch note breakdown.